Hey, how you doing? Tom Gruby here. I'm going to show you a Photoshop technique to add grunge to your photos. The grunge look is basically a combination of sharpening, contrast enhancement, and desaturation. And for the desaturation part, we're going to do a black and white conversion, and I'm going to use Silver Efex Pro first and use one of its presets, and then apply a blend mode to that. And you've seen this technique, I'm sure, in movies and in video games, perhaps. For these presets, there's two high structure ones. One of them is the high structure harsh and high structure smooth, which is the one I'm going to choose. But you can play around and choose which one you want. Okay, let's move this out of the way. And there's your normal black and white conversion, and I'm going to apply either overlay, which is the stronger of the two, or soft light, which is the one I prefer. And I also don't like this on the cloud, so I'm going to go ahead and alt-click on the layer mask icon and just paint this effect in at 50% opacity, I suppose. And this effect has the most impact on textured surfaces like this brick, or the stone, and rocks, even wood. And I've seen some people even do it on portraits because it enhances detail. So an older person with wrinkles and cracks in their face, it does show an interesting effect. So basically that's it. And there's your before, there's your after, and it does enhance the character of this building. So we're going to go on to the next one without using the Silver Efex Pro. We're going to use the standard adjustment layers. So let's go to example 2. Okay, for the second example, I'm going to use this image of Anza Borrego's Clark Dry Lake. And I'm also going to just use the adjustments here, so it should be very simple. And I'm also going to add an action to make this easier next time if I need to use it. So I'm going to just select new action, going to call it grunge, and start recording. And the first step, duplicate background layer with Control J. And I'm going to apply a high pass filter for the sharpening part. And the radius I'm going to use around 3, a little over is fine. And change the blend mode to either overlay or soft light. And I think overlay shows a little bit more detail, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. And the Silver Efex Pro did a black and white conversion, so go ahead and use a black and white conversion action. And I'm going to use the high contrast red because that'll enhance the red parts of the image. I'm going to go ahead and also add a tad bit of contrast. And before I move on, let me change this black and white conversion blend mode to soft light. So it's, there you go, there's your grunge effect. The curves can stay the same, and then add a little bit of desaturation. And you can adjust all this stuff after the fact anyway. Then I'll take these and put these into their own group, Control G. And I'll name the group Grunge. And I'll add just a regular layer mask, and I'll stop my action. So now I have my own grunge action, which I could use on any image I want, which I have a bunch of actions here that I use for my image. So anyway, now that I have that, I'm going to go ahead and invert this mask so I can just paint in. I'm going to set this at around 30 and make this a little bigger. And what I want to do is just enhance the areas that I think would look good with this effect. And there's the cracked earth looks awesome with this effect, in my opinion, as well as the subject there. And again, I'm not going to do anything on the sky. I mean, you could do it if you want, but for this image, I think it looks good on the cracks. And look at the difference in the before and after. There's just so much more character, and just it tells a story this way rather than this way. So okay, let's move on to the last example. for this third example, I'm going to use this image of Vasquez rocks, which is a famous rock that's been featured in movies and television shows and the like. But I'm going to use the action I created previously, and in about 2, 3, 4 seconds, I have my effect. And let me invert this layer mask and paint this in manually so it's not so weird looking, and you have a little bit more control over it too. I want to enhance the interesting details like that area there and this foreground, and I'm noticing that the effect is desaturating a little more than I'd like, so let me go ahead and bump that up to, that's fine. And I guess I could put a little in the clouds, but definitely in these areas here. Let's look at this. There's your before, there's the after, before, after. That's definitely an improvement. So there you go. That's the grunge look. Hope you guys got something out of this. If so, go ahead and leave a like, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.